Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Let's see how the audio is. We've got a short news show tonight. We're looking at probably just be an hour because I've got to get ready because it's David Icke tomorrow. So if you are subscribed to the Curious Bunny, there'll be a few updates. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the Curious Bunny because we're going to see David Icke tomorrow. And I will be doing hopefully a few little updates for the members over there as well. So if you want to join the membership, you can keep up to date. But for now, we're doing a news show. There's so much news to get through. It's bonkers. I started getting some stories together for tonight's stream. My mind is blown. The world has gone so... I didn't think the world could go more upside down than it was already. But it has. I'm going to start tonight with another trans killer. And this time it's over in America, Rhode Island. He killed his own wife and son. This is absolutely shocking. Actually, no, I shouldn't be shocked anymore. We're going to get into that in a moment, but I'm just going to do some hellos. But yeah, David Icke, we booked this last year and quite a while ago actually. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, well, thank you, Princess. I will try my best. I've just been out and walked George during bell night. So I was in the churchyard whilst the bells were going. I couldn't stream it because I had no hands to do so. A bit difficult with a crutch in one hand, a dog in the other hand, and then a phone sort of balance between the two. And did a quick video. I couldn't stream it, but I have filmed the bells going off. So that'll be uploaded over on the Curious Bunny shortly as well. We're going to do a few hellos before we get into the first news story of the evening. Now, my sound engineer is otherwise engaged. He's walking Gizmo. So please hit the like, guys, if you don't mind. Ignore that banner. Let me get rid of that banner. That banner shouldn't be there. So we're going to say thank you to our lovely members until I get a news banner up. And then we're going to do some hellos in the live chat. So here we go. Right then. So we have 20 watching, 21. We have 15 likes. Hit the like, guys, or the dislike if you don't like me. I will get over it. Right, okay. We had one big pond here earlier. Hello, madame. Just giving you a wrench. Not seen you on this one before, so there you go. We've got the lovely Bridget Blaine. One big pond was here. Princess Tippy Toes. Stephen Hall. Hello. How you doing, mate? DJ Rockford. Big up, big up. Thanks for joining the membership. Tamsin is here. Yvonne. Bridget Blues Girl. Hello, my lovely. What state are you in, Blues Girl? I can't remember. You did say. Lee's here. Sparkle Soul. Hello, gorgeous. How you doing? Carlos, big up, big up. We have Amethyst, another member. I am literally just working on some membership badges, so just bear with me, guys. And Ian is here. Ian Clark Photography. Welcome to the live stream. If you become a regular, I'll make you blue. Okay, so the first story then is another sad one. This is why I don't like doing news shows anymore, because it's all depressing and sad. This is pretty shocking stuff if you haven't seen it already, so viewer discretion is advised. Now, this was an ice hockey game over in Rhode Island. I think Rhode Island's just on the east coast. Correct me if I'm wrong, Blues Girl, but I'm pretty sure it's just by New York. And watching the ice hockey, there was a mum. There was I'm in Canada now, but I'm from Chicago. Hi, Rose. How you doing? Thanks for joining the membership. I'm good, thanks, Ian. What's going on here? You guys in the chat bantering. Rose Island is close. Yeah, I got it right. Hi, how you doing, Rose, my lovely? Thanks for joining the membership. Thank you to our members. That's really, really kind. Thank you. So, yeah, so... this guy is watching his son, I think 2 sons. I was told 3 originally last night, and they were reported that there was two kids dead and 1 in intensive care. I'm now told there was 1 dead and 1 in intensive care. There's still a bit of sketchy reporting. So this dad, was him and his wife were watching their 2 sons, I'm told. It might be 2 or 3 sons playing ice hockey, and he decided to murder his own family, including his own wife. There are 2 people in intensive care. We're going to watch this video. Hi, Claire Bear. Watch this video now, but as I say, viewer discretion is advised. I'm just going to put this on big. Hear the gunshots. Oh, how's the audio as well? How's the audio? I forgot to double check with you. How's the audio? Oh, well, thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. Big up, Carlos. How you doing? Yeah, guys, this is pretty bad. I'm going to start it again. Just let me know. How's the audio? I forgot to check. Is it good? Thanks, Claire Bear. Okay, says Tam. Thank you, because Al's walking gizmo, you see. So, yeah, now I know that you can hear me okay. I don't think this wasn't the dad filming, this was someone filming, but yeah, it just, you can see at first, none of the skaters, I don't think, realise what it is, but it's gunshots. Watch this properly again. What the fuck, it's crazy. Right. I don't quite know. Are they going for the shooter? Are they people, the public, going for the shooter? I'm not sure. It's really, really bad. I'm guessing most of you have heard about this already, but if you haven't and you've not seen that,
Maryland Governor Wes Moore over the catastrophic Potomac sewage spill, saying his mismanagement.
Apologies, it's playing another video and I don't want it to. Sorry about that. So yeah, 2 people have been wounded and they're in hospital at the moment during a deadly shooting at Rhode Island ice rink. They were in critical condition on Tuesday, fighting for their lives. Now, a family contact told Fox News that Robert Dorgan, 56, was who identified as transgender. So, this guy, hi everybody, how are we all doing? The dog piling him. I know, it's awful, isn't it? Hi Diane. Hi Terry Knowles Band again. Welcome in everybody. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I'm just going to put that on a bigger screen for you so you can see it a bit better. There you go. Oh, Diane says no. I'm not quite sure what the no's to. This guy, Robert Dorgan, 56, who identified as a transgender, and he was a married man. Oh, thank you, Sparkle Soul. Take care, darling. Hi, Lynn. How you doing, my lovely? He shot and killed his ex-wife and his son, Aidan. So he killed one of his children and he shot another, as far as I'm aware. Now, he had a history of past family conflict over his gender identity. This seems to be a common theme, have you noticed? Now, usually it's children doing this sort of stuff, and it's actually the adults. We'll get into my thoughts on all of this in a moment about the trans stuff. I'm just going to make this a bit smaller so I can show you these pictures. Now, here he is here. This is the arena where this happened. Now, this is him on the right. He is identifying as a female. Oh, sorry, Diane. Is that what you were saying? Sorry, my lovely. He identifies as a female, but he's a man, and his ex-wife divorced him. Oh my goodness. He took his own life after the shooting, authorities have said. Yeah, this all happened late last night. There he is there as well. That's him with his, look at him. Is that him with his son? Took his own life. That says that's one less nutter in the world. It says here, Pawtucket Police Chief Tina Goncalves said that a good Samaritan also stepped in and attempted to subdue the shooter. We can also tell you that a good Samaritan stepped in, interjected in the scene, and that's probably what led to a swift end of this tragic event. I'm wondering if he did kill himself. I'm thinking he didn't, and that they've killed him, and I don't blame them either. But they can't say that because narcissists don't usually kill themselves. And as we'll read on, he apparently was a total and utter narcissist. In addition to this son, 2 other siblings, a high school hockey player and his sister, who is studying to be a nurse, have been left behind without either parent. So it was just 1 children killed. Yeah, here he is. Absolute poser. Look at him. Absolute poser. Oh. Mental illness. That there is mental illness on display. I'm not saying that some people don't have gender dysphoria. I'm not saying that at all, because there are people genuinely, and they are so rare. They are so very rare. There are people with gender dysphoria. But you get people like this who you can blatantly tell wants all the attention on him. And we'll read on in a moment on another article how apparently he was extremely narcissistic. People who knew the family well told Fox News that Dorgan transitioned back in 2020 and started going by the name Roberta. Well, that's original, from Robert to Roberta. That same year, Dorgan reported to North Providence police that he had undergone gender reassignment surgery and said his father-in-law wanted him out of the family home because of it. Dorgan would sometimes attend hockey games dressed in women's clothing, such as tight denim shorts and tight tops. There he is there. More than likely he's had boobs put in. That was probably his surgery. Dorgan's then wife initially cited a gender reassignment surgery, narcissistic personality disorder traits in divorce paperwork before the grounds were amended to inconsolable differences. The divorce was finalised in 2021. There's another report I want to show you in a moment. Let me just get back in here. Right, let's put that there. Okay, how are we all doing? Hi Nikki, how you doing, sweetheart? Yeah, selfish arsehole. They are real. They are very rare. I know a couple of trans people, and they are genuine. You know, they would genuinely felt that they were born in the wrong body, and it's not something that they can help. Okay, this is not a trans hating channel. All right, I'm not going to hate on people because we do have trans people. And the thing is, right, all I say is be a good person. If you be a good person, doesn't matter what you do. You leave animals alone, you leave kids alone, and you just be a nice person. And I don't give a shit what you do behind closed doors. That's the way I see it. But this article in the Daily Mirror, the Daily Mail of all things, I hate Daily Mail because it's just full of bloody ads. I hate using this thing, but I've got to, because it's the only ones in the UK that are really covering this well. So I'm going to read it out to you. It's difficult because obviously all the ads. So, chilling warning signs before the bloodbath. The gunman who killed 2 people at a youth hockey game appeared to post on ominous warnings in the days before the deadly shooting. An online profile that appears to belong to Robert Dorgan, who also went by the name Roberta Espotio, shared an eerie video of a woman running on a treadmill while loading ammunition magazines into a handgun. Hi Sawon, how you doing? I'm catching the odd bit of chat, alright? I'm trying to make this bigger so you can read it yourselves, but I'm just getting stuck by this stupid ad. Here we go. In another post on X, a profile for Roberta Dorgano threatened to go berserk while defending transgender Congresswoman Sarah McBride. So there were warnings there. I'm not sure what this video is here. Just hold on a minute. I think this might be an ad. Keep bashing us, they wrote. He wrote on Sunday. No wonder we go berserk. Just hours after the shooting, a woman who claimed to be Dorgan's daughter claimed the gunman has mental health issues. He shot my family and he's dead now, the woman told WCVB. Now, his ex-wife, who was reportedly killed in the shooting, claimed on court documents, as I've just said, that he had narcissistic personality disorder. But look at him, you can see, it's like, look at me, I'm amazing, look at me. I haven't got time for people like this. These are the sort of people, it's just all about them all of the time. I'm not sure if this is his daughter here. Don't know. No, it's just a woman. So 3 are dead. So him, his wife, and his... Oh, thank you, Ian. Oh, thank you. I've just seen you've joined the membership. That's very kind. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. So... Got a minute. So we've got this situation now where this guy, blatant warnings, writing it all over X, and it looks to me like nothing has been done at all. And he's just been allowed to continue, you know, with what he's been doing. Just bear with me a sec. My screen's having a bit of a... There we go. So... What is it doing? Split screen thing. There we go. So if you look at this here... Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. It's really kind of you. Not that. There's a bit more here. Now, trans dad's second victim named as his engineer... I think it's his engineer wife, who died beside engineer's son, who died beside his mom during Rhode Island hockey game. It's just shocking, isn't it? How this... I can't get my head around. I just can't get my head around why anyone would do this. It's just so sick. Aidan's grandparents were among those injured. Right, so her parents were there as well. Oh my goodness. So they were injured as well. They had to watch their grandson and their daughter die. They are currently critical, fighting for their lives. So he shot his in-laws, his ex-wife and his own son. The youngest son, Colin, 17, watched the tragedy unfold from the ice. So he was on the ice and he watched his dad kill his entire family. It's so bad, isn't it? The world is just gone bonkers and evil. I don't know how much more evil we can have until something gives. I really don't. So, unfortunately, like, the news is all depressing again. Yeah, he lost the plot. What are people saying in the live chat? So Bridget Blaine says he lost the plot because of his selfishness. Diane says it's heartbreaking. Stephen, so much evil in the world. Ian, that is so bad. It's terrible, isn't it? It's really bad. Right, let's get on to some more stories for you. It's just depressing, isn't it? It's just depressing. I'm sorry, I don't like doing news shows anymore because it's all just... Can you hear the boys for play fighting? The dogs. I'm going to start going on camera again soon as well, I think. I used to. When I get my thing set up properly, because I don't know if we're moving soon, but we'll see. But yeah, at the moment, I'm not going to be on camera. Right then, this is another depressing story. Moving to the UK now. This is Nottinghamshire. Okay, I'm popping links in here because these are links to the articles that I'm talking about on the live stream. Sex attack. Teen boys raped a girl 18 in a dark alleyway in a random attack after ambushing her when her phone died. Now, it's just so fucking depressing, isn't it? Sorry for swearing. I don't know who these defendants are. I think we can all have our own ideas. A gang of teen boys lured a girl to a dark alleyway. The defendants, aged 15 and 17, allegedly preyed on the 18-year-old outside a nail salon in Newark in Nottinghamshire. Now, what really pisses me off about this is why won't they name them? I don't care if they're under 18. I don't care if they're under 16. If you commit a heinous crime like that, you should not have any anonymity. I can't say that word. Anonymity. Is that the right word? She'd been at her boyfriend's home on December the 28th, 2023. That's how long it's taking for these things to get to court. And David Lammy comes out and says, oh, well, we need to get rid of jury so we can rush these things through. No, just get some judges off their asses and get them to do some actual work. Hang on a minute, the dogs are play fighting. Let me just see if Val can come. Boys, no, hang on a minute, guys. Just bear with me. Sorry about that. I've asked Al to come and sit with them. So it's taken over 2 years to get to court. But honestly, getting rid of jury trials, it just makes my blood boil. It's just... They're saying, oh, it's taken too long. Do you know that these judges, they hardly do any work? They might sit on their asses for like one case a day. Can you watch the dogs, please? George is humping Gizmo. He's just hurt his back. Can you just... Sorry about this, everybody. I've asked him to sit with the dogs. They persuaded her to walk down the secluded alleyway with them, where 3 of them took it into... Oh, I can't even read that. It's so disgusting. I've linked it if you want to go and read it. The woman begged them to stop as one allegedly filmed the horror on his mobile phone. Whilst they did it, what they wanted, she said no and cried. These are just pure evil. Other teenage males watched, encouraging the others and making it difficult for her to escape. Not all of the teenagers who were there in the alley were identified, but these defendants were. So some of them have got away with it. The court was told the first boy to allegedly rape the woman has not been identified, so he's got away with it then. Now, why do I feel like this... I don't know. I don't want to say. We don't know what the names are, but I have my own theory on what the names will be. A third teen, also 17, pretended he was kind and offered to walk her home. Fourth defendant, another 15-year-old, did not touch the woman, but allegedly surrounded her and encouraged the teens. He initially denied being present, but police later found videos on his phone that he had taken of the attack, so he denied it, and then he got caught out. Mr. Skinner said the girl was left distraught, her clothes were dirty, she had cuts and grazes to her knees. I can't even imagine that poor girl and her poor parents, what they must be going through. So this is currently in court now. We haven't had... let me just see if we've had what the last update is. All the teens deny charges. They deny it. They actually deny it. The trial continues. So obviously I'll keep you updated with that one. That's not making headline news for some reason, but we will cover it on this channel. Right, yeah, I've got my theory as well, says Tamsin. Yeah, we just... All males? Just males? Yeah, of course. Well, if they were white males, we would know, wouldn't we? We would know. Exactly, Lee. We would know. It's always the way. So we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, the trial's open and it's ongoing, so we've got to be careful what we actually say because we don't want to, you know, prejudice anything. Yeah. Right, so this was breaking news tonight on The Sun. and not just the Sun, all over the internet about Randy Andy. Apparently the police are finally going to do a probe into him. He's facing a cop probe. The thing is, he's been protected for so long, and I know a lot of people like the Queen, but she knew what was going on. Come on, she knew, and they're all at it. Randy Andy's taking the flak for the rest of them. They're all disgusting. Apparently the women were flown into the UK on Epstein's Lolita Express. He was actually flying them in. Now we've got an update here. Hang on a minute. This is from this reporter. Let's watch this.
To contact authorities.
Start it again.
This protection officer says he has contacted the police over claims that cops were not allowed to know the names of women turning up to see Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Paul Page, who worked at the Palace from 1998 to 2004, accused the shamed ex-Duke of preventing official logs recording the names of his guests. It comes amid claims that some could have been trafficked victims of the late paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The former Met officer says he has now contacted Thames Valley Police, who are assessing multiple claims about Andrew, who has denied all wrongdoing. Mr. Page today told The Sun how he felt obliged to contact authorities with his own information after seeing our front page. He claimed women would arrive multiple times a week at Buckingham Palace for Andrew and be allowed in with no security clearance. We previously revealed how Andrew left staff exasperated by constantly arranging for women to see him using code names including Mrs. Windsor. And today, Mr. Page added, quote, "We were just told a female will be coming at whatever time. It's always after closing, and a female will be approaching the front gate. We were told to call footmen, and then either the female would walk through unescorted, or the footman would come down to collect her and walk her to Andrew. We weren't allowed to know the names. It's a security procedure, because how do we even know if the woman here is the one he was expecting? But we didn't ask, because the bottom line is, because of fear, we didn't want to get booted off our post." Emails released by the US Department of Justice show several women entered the palace with Andrew's permission after being supplied by his pedo pal Epstein. They included a Romanian model and another woman from Russia, with both treated to a private dinner, while Andrew's mother, the Queen, was away at Balmoral. Epstein described the Bucharest-born woman, in her early 20s, as perfect. Mr. Page said he previously assumed the women were there for Andrew because he was a single prince. He added, quote, "One of the ongoing jokes was that Andrew should have a revolving door in his bedroom because of the number of women that were coming in and out. When the Queen or the Duke of Edinburgh had guests after hours, we would be furnished with their details. With Andrew's women, multiple times a week, we were just told not to question it. I feel like I have information that could take the police probe forward, and I have a duty to share that." Earlier this week, Gordon Brown became the most high-profile person yet
Gordon
to call for a
Brown.
full investigation into Andrew, while the King and the Prince and Princess of Wales shared their deep concerns at the allegations. Mr. Brown, who was Prime Minister from 2007 to 2010, suggested some in positions of power in the UK were, quote, "complicit in trafficking." The files suggest a number of British girls were on board 90 Epstein flights organised from UK airports, including Stansted in Essex. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was asked to comment on Mr. Page's claims. Mr. Page was...
The thing is, I've said this many times before, they're all involved. As for Gordon Brown, he was the one that took over just as Madeleine McCann went missing. He was the one that got involved in that, and he made sure that the parents were let off. We've covered so much on that, as you know, over on the Curious Bunny with the Madeleine McCann case. There's still so much more to cover. But one of the Tapas 7 were friends with Gordon Brown's brother, and they went jogging. And they actually said, can you make sure that, you know, you sort out the... We found it, all the documents. He got released in the PJ files. He was knee deep in that. And if you look at the connections with these people, they're all interconnected. Ah, one big pond. You're so sweet. Hello, darling. I'm so addicted to you, Penny Bernie. Thank you for every thought. This topic should make the world stop to clean those. I agree. Do you know what? The 1%, if we got rid of them, thank you for such a lovely comment, sweetheart. We got rid of them, then the world would be a better place, wouldn't it? Brown ordered all police not to investigate the grooming. Yeah, 100%. The Queen knew. Yeah, let's not forget about the Canadian children. And the kids vanished and they never went back. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I used to be a royal supporter, you know, I'm going back years ago now. I'm sorry, but David Icke, whether they are actually reptilian or not, he's right. And I can't wait. I'm going to see David Icke tomorrow. Woohoo! Have you got any questions? Let me know. I'll be posting it as well over on the Curious Bunny in the membership tab. If you're a member over there, get your questions in. I am going to do my very best to speak to David Icke personally. I don't know. I will try. And ask him a couple of questions. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to ask him too many questions, but I will do my very best to get a couple in. My first question for David Icke, and it is a very easy one, I'm sure he can answer it, is he doesn't believe in God and he doesn't believe in the one creator. Okay, David Icke believes in there's no true God and there's no Jesus and all that stuff. Okay, fine. Right, he believes that we're all consciousness and he believes in this one big, like, we're all connected and all that, and it's all just a matrix. And okay, that's fine, but my one issue I have with David Icke is how come he talks about Satanism? How can he talk about Satanism and satanic ritual abuse if you don't believe in God? Because without God there is no Satan. I don't get that, and I'm going to ask him this question. That's my question to him, because I don't like, there's nothing worse than people who contradict themselves. You know, don't contradict yourself, please. But anyway, that's my issue, and that's my question for him. And he's probably going to say, oh, it's just a terminology, Satan, when actually it's not Satan. Well, don't keep going around saying there's satanic ritual abuse, which we know there is, but then there's no God. You can't have it both ways. What's the matter? Hang on one sec, guys. All right, okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so it's just common sense, isn't it? So I'd like to know what he's got to say, and I do always ask him this question under his videos. Just while we're talking about the old egg stain, just a quick one as well, just found this little story separate to it. Apparently there's a mystery man, a fixer, right? I say mystery man, we all know these people. And another thing is, you know, all of these oh my God, look at these ads. They really, really, really get on my nerves. These ads do. Apologies about this. In these files, you do know there's so much more in there. Like this Wexner guy who started Victoria's Secrets. This is why I want to go down rabbit holes on the other channel. The Curious Bunny, I'll be going down rabbit holes. He is knee deep in this, and he's being protected. Why? Because of all the money he's got. So even though we don't like Epstein and Andy, it doesn't just stop with them. Anyway, there's this came out today as well. Now, it's apparently sharing cosy emails with Jeffrey Epstein, accompanying Andrew on trade visits, and even sitting next to the Queen. This is this mystery man they keep talking about. And his name is apparently David Stern, with his name featuring 7,461 times in the Epstein files. The German businessman was a close, my voice is going, excuse me, sorry, was a close ally of both the Duke of York and the vile millionaire. They're calling him a sex fiend. So who is this guy? And her as well. She's knee deep in this as well. She's worse than that old Ghislaine, I reckon. Look at him next to the Queen. Look, this dude here. See, People think she's a little old, cute little old lady. No, she was knee deep in this as well. They all are. They all were. When they got him on the BBC, though, it was just bonkers, isn't it? So his boss was Jeffrey Epstein. He's asked me to see a guy who has access to Nigerian oil and when selling it to China for somebody else. So he's appeared in lots of the emails. So they are at least talking about this guy now. He could be seen smiling in a picture with the ex-duke and acting like a middleman. So he mentioned in the bombshell documents as early as 2009. So this goes so deep, you know, and as if the Queen didn't know what was going on. Yeah, German businessman who described Epstein as his boss. So I think that is another rabbit hole to go down, and there are a lot of rabbit holes to go down. How are people doing in the chat? The royals have do you remember the years ago? Hi Gina. Years ago I used to cover the royals over on my Penny Bunny channel. Do you remember it, guys? I had to remove a lot of them because YouTube didn't like it. I used to do these transgender investigations and stuff, and I used to like look at them and think maybe they were reptilians and stuff. It was more of a piss take. Hi Rachel love. It was really a bit of a piss take, but yeah, it was a piss take, but it wasn't, if that makes any sense. What else have we got going on in the UK and around the world? The Nancy Drew Fray story. I am going to go really deep on that. Ike. Sorry, hang on, I'm just reading. What do you mean, one big pond? Yeah, I've got questions for him, you know. I do. The thing is, right, I like David Icke because he was originally Woke Me Up, which is always a good thing. But I have questions for him. And just because I'm going to see someone doesn't mean that he's some sort of messiah as well. You've got to remember that. I think for myself, I know I don't follow crowds. I think for myself. So if ever I'm going to like see someone, I'm going to ask them questions. I'll literally meet anybody for a chat and ask them a question. Doesn't mean that I'm their best friend or anything else. And I would like to ask him some genuine questions. Yeah, Sonia Polton. I lost a lot of respect for her after the Sean. Oh, I didn't speak to oh, I need to catch up with Avogadro about that as well. Anyway, do you like Lowe? No, I don't. I'm not keen on Rupert Lowe, and I'll tell you why. I think he's a massive egomaniac. I should make a video really on this. I'll just tell you this quickly. My thoughts on Rupert Lowe, as Bridget Blaine has asked. Now, what gets me is that Ben Habib started Advance. He got like 40,000 members. He was begging Lowe to join, and then Lowe wouldn't join because he wants to do his own thing, because it's too egotistical to join Ben Habib, and also he wants all white people. I know for a fact he wouldn't be underneath a Pakistani Muslim. Ben Habib is. Let's not forget that. And now he started Restore as a party. Ben Habib is winding down Advance. Now, all those people that joined Advance and paid to join Advance have now been told, your membership's gone nowhere. We're winding it down, and go and pay to join Restore. I think that's utterly disgusting. Bitter Ben has never got over the fact that he never won an MP when he did his election. He never won. And he just went off in a little fit. Do you know what? At the end of the day, people going about Farage. I never used to be keen on Farage. I have left Reform now. I'm officially got my email the other day. I emailed them when I've been a Reform member since January 2023. And I've actually cancelled my membership now because of the Nadine Zahawi. He was my red line. I like Suella Braverman and I don't mind Robert Jenrick, but he was my red line. I don't know, but I do know that Rupert Lowe is an extremely, extremely rich man who has... I've looked on Company's House at him. He's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of businesses. He's got fingers in every single pie. There was that many pages. I didn't even get to finish them all. So I think the problem is at the moment that the rights is being crowded out, right? And the issue I've got is Ben Habib seems to, all he wants to do is destroy reform. That seems to be his MO, is just destroy reform. And what him and Rupert are doing right before this crucial by-election that's happening next week is literally could gift it to the Greens. Now, if they genuinely care about this country, they would just all come together. And I just think it's like the Greens. You've got Muslims who are going to vote for the Greens, who love all the transgender and the LGBT. Even though they don't like that, the Muslims don't, the left can come together. The right can't. That's what pisses me off about it all. I'm not keen on Rupert Lowe. I don't dislike the bloke. I do follow him. I will call him out when I don't agree with him. Not keen on Ben. So I don't mind Rupert Lowe. I don't like Ben Habib. I think he's very, very, very bitter. I really do think he's very, very bitter. So, yeah, it's very split, Stephen. It really, really is. The problem with Advance... where's that gone now? The problem with Advance, they weren't going far enough on policy, and a half Pakistani guy isn't going to fly. I don't think he is half. I think he's full with the electorate. Exactly. This is just so bonkers. And another thing is, did you guys know that Ben Habib was private schooled? He was a rugby player. He's a very, very posh boy. He isn't working class. His parents came over and he went to a very, very nice school. So those of you that say, oh, I don't like Rishi Sunak because he wasn't white and he was Indian, well, Ben Habib is a Pakistani Muslim. So I just, my head hurts with it all. You know, I just think that the right is being dragged too far to the right. And I'm just going to say this now. For those of you that say that Nigel Farage is going too far to the left, if you want to win an election in the UK on the first past the post system, you have to go to the centre. Nigel Farage, I'm not sticking up for him because I've left Reform. I've got no affiliation to Reform. All right, I'm not sticking up for Reform, but I understand politics. You will never win on the fringe. Look at Jeremy Corbyn. He got more votes than Starmer and he never won because he was too far to the left. If you're too far to the left or you're too far to the right, in the first past the post system, you will never get in this country. You've got to pull to the centre. And that's why Farage has been going to the centre right. He hasn't gone to the left at all. Labour currently are not that left, considering that Keir Starmer is basically centre right of the Labour Party. Your lefties are your Angela Rayner, your Dawn Butlers and all them. They are further to the left. So what Farage is doing, he's pulling to the centre because he wants to sweep up the centre votes. And that's just a fact. It's not me sticking up for Farage. And this is what people don't understand. X is full of people saying, oh, he's too lefty. He can't, if he starts talking about what Rupert Lowe talks about, he won't get in. And if you watch, he has started, now he's talking about deportations and, you know, Reform are talking about that at least. They are talking about completely reforming the civil service. So I think our only chance is to give them a chance. Because if you vote for Restore or Advance or whoever, it's just a pointless vote. You're just letting Labour in. So that's my advice, is stick to Reform for now. Thank you very much, Terry Knowles Band again. I do understand politics. And the thing is, it has failed. I agree, Tony Blair was a centrist. I don't want them to go to the centre, DJ Rockford. My point I'm trying to make is to get the first past the post system, you have to do that. If once Farage gets in, hopefully he can change the electoral system. Because I think the two-party system in this country is dead. And we would do much better on a European model where there's different parties in. And yeah, it's difficult because you've got to all agree and disagree and you've got to do a bit more work. But this two-party system where you get the party whips say, right, okay, you're going to all vote for this today, and it's not true democracy. There is no democracy in that. Each member of parliament who was voted there by their constituencies should be completely free and independent to give what they want to say and give their own opinion. And at the moment, you're told by Labour or Tory, you are going to vote this way. And if they go against it, they get in trouble. Tony says, unpopular opinion. Well, that's welcome here, because my opinion isn't always very popular. We, the British people, need to adopt Islam as the national religion. Christianity is weak and Islam is strong, masculine and disciplined. The UK will be an unstoppable brotherhood. I'm presuming that's a piss take, Tony. Hi, Steve, but you are very welcome to your opinion. I totally disagree with you. I understand where you're coming from, that Islam is very conservative, but it's in the Middle Ages conservative, okay? They stone gay people, for example. It's bonkers. You're allowed lots of wives. You can marry children at 9. No, thank you. We do not want to be an Islamic country. Yeah, the English Democrats. I was an English Democrat member for years. How you doing, Steve? I was an English Democrat member for years, and it's pointless. There's nobody other than Robin Tilbrook behind the English Democrats. I know the Greens. The Greens are sweeping up because Labour are not far to the left, which is what I keep saying to you. They're trying to pull them to the left. Starmer got in because he was centre, but now we're 4 years away from election. Labour can go as far to the left as they want, and Reform could go further to the right, but they think there's an election coming, and so do I. Middle Ages conservative, exactly. I'm very old-fashioned though, Bridget. I believe that men should be masculine, and I believe that men should go out to work and the women should be at home with the kids, and that's just me. Doesn't mean I'm right, it's my opinion. Women want to go out and get a job when the children are at school. If the children go to school, I homeschool, as many of you are aware, that's my choice. But if the women want to get a job when the kids are at school, that's fine, but the mum should be with the children until they're school age. That's just my opinion. Anyway, moving on. So, I've got on my little soapbox. Shouldn't mention politics to me because I'll be going on forever. Anyway, there you go. Rupert Lowe, I think, needs to just... I understand where he's coming from, but he needs to swallow his pride and just get behind Reform for now. Let's just get somebody in who isn't the Green Party, okay? Because the Green Party are absolute nutters. You think Labour are bad? I've heard rumours as well, folks. The rumour mill is that Ed Miliband, the lunatic who lost to David Cameron in 2015. Hang on, 2015. He is on about joining up with Zach, I can make your boobs bigger Polanski, whatever his name is now, changed his name 3 times, and joining the Greens to create this super lefty, crazy, woke, dystopian UK. Now, anybody remember David Miliband? He was a Blairite. He was more to the right of the Labour Party. He was the better of the two, if you can say that. Have you noticed that he disappeared and Ed Miliband got this push? It makes me sick that Ed Miliband, who lost an election, to David Cameron, is allowed to now be Energy Secretary. This is why the two-party system doesn't work. You should not be allowed to be in that position. Anyway, moving on. This is another balmy Britain story. The world has gone insane, okay? You should be able to see this on your screens, not the ad. I can't get rid of the ad, it pisses me off. Violent prisoner due for deportation escapes custody for the 2nd time in a week. This is what this country's become. We can't deport people, and when we do decide to deport people, we can't find them. We lose them. Let me see if I can make this bigger without this stupid ad. Fuck off. Right. Daniel Bokeh, we're going to call him Bokeh, I don't know. He escaped from police custody in a hospital in Lewisham in South London. There he is. A lovely charmer. He's got gang affiliations, he's violent, he's due for deportation, he's on the run for a second time in a week. Sky News understands. Police are hunting for Daniel Bouquier, I don't know. I think Tony's trolling, guys, I don't know. Maybe he's not, maybe he genuinely believes this stuff. Look, if he wants to believe it, let him believe it. If he thinks that we should become this medieval Islamic Republic where women can't go outside without a thing on the head, then that's up to him, isn't it, if he wants to believe that. But you'll fall down when you realise that the Greens want children dressed scantily clad and people identifying as furries and all sorts of shizness going on. And the Muslims don't like that. So what are you going to do? They're all just, the left are just going to eat themselves alive. Anyway, this guy here, he's been serving time at HMP Feltham for robbery charges. He is understood to be violent. He has gang connections and is due for deportation to Ghana. Shocking, the Labour Party are actually going to deport somebody. It's a miracle, but they've lost him twice. He has already gone missing after freeing himself from prison at the West Middlesex University Hospital in the early hours of the 10th of February. The prison service at the time that we were urgently working with the police and were investigating how he escaped. Officers located him at an address in Thamesmead, southwest London, on Wednesday afternoon. On Sunday, this dude absconded again from policy custody. It means police custody. Obviously, they can't even spell check their own bloody reports on Sky. This time at Lewisham Hospital. Why is he always at hospital? I don't understand that. Where he had been receiving medical treatment. Nobody timed Tony out, though, for his opinion. Remember, we allow opinions here. You know, he might just be a troll. You know, just saying unpopular opinions to get a reaction. That's what they do. Either way, as long as he's not get his hard drive checked. So this dude has gone missing, so they're appealing for this guy again. Officers gave chase but could only detail Bouquier before he left the building. He's 21 years old, black. Oh my God, they said black. You can't say that, can you, anymore? You can only say white. Medium height, slim build. He was wearing a grey tracksuit, as they always are when they're in prison. A dark night jacket when he absconded. So, guys, if you're in South London and you see a guy with a black guy, medium height, with grey joggers on and a night jacket, you need to ring the police. I don't know how many people you'll see looking like that. That's a whole new thing. Okay, how are we doing? When those accused are protected by the people in charge to enforce common law, you know we have all been lied to. No one's muted you, Tony. No. Calm down. Calm down. Oh, hang on. Somebody did, because you must have been trolling. Maybe they knocked it by mistake. You're not muted, you're here. Look. Look. Stop shouting. Chill. Chillax, man. It is demented, I agree, Terry Knowles banned again. My opinion is everyone that has played in part in the genocide of the English should be exiled, be it British or not. I agree. But then where do you exile them to? I agree it's demented. But, you know, it's his opinion, guys. It's his opinion. And the thing is, right, I just want to say as well, it won't let me show your comment, Tony. It's been held by YouTube. And when I press show, it just says... Another Tony says, because I can't read it, it won't let me. I mean, it won't let me show it on the screen. I know it will. Here we go. Here you go. The Bible clearly states that women need controlling. So if this is a Christian country, then why have we allowed them to destroy this country? This isn't a religious live stream. We're just doing a little bit of news here, you know. There's nothing that we need. I think you're on the wrong stream tone, you know. Thing is, yeah, I have Muslim friends, and not all Muslims are hardline extremists. It's like, look at the Persian, look at the people of Persia. Their original religion, and I can't say it begins with a Z, was a type of Islam. There was nothing like the sort that they have now. Look, I think you need to go and spread your hatred somewhere else. Just a quick news roundup as well. We've had... What else have we got here? Just to give you a really quick roundup of the news. If he's trolling, just block him. Tony, don't troll. Can you talk about something other than just Islam? At least Islam have the organisation and discipline. That's it. No, it wasn't. You're right. Zoroastrianism. It wasn't Islamic, but it was a similar. If you look at it, the basics of it was slightly similar. It wasn't Islamic, no, but that was the religion. That was a very peaceful religion. They were a very, very peaceful religion. Yeah, he's gone now. He's probably trolling. I don't think he actually believes what he's saying. He just wants a reaction. He just wants to disrupt the stream. Right, I'm going to give you a really, really quick rundown without showing you of what else has been going on today. So as we spoke about, the police are looking at information around private flights to and from Stansted after Epstein files release. So we've actually got the airport now where they went to, and Gordon Brown is involved in that. Yeah, right. Gordon Brown. What else we got? Right, we have Reform UK came out today and announced their what they are calling their shadow cabinet, which was a bit bizarre because there was no Sarah Poachin. Oh, I think's lovely. I really like Sarah Poachin and Lee Anderson, but they had Richard Tice, who's going to be deputy. Suella Braverman's going to be education spokesperson, which is a bit weird because Suella Braverman would have been a brilliant Home Secretary. We had Robert Jenrick, I think, as Chancellor, and Zia Useless, I think, business spokesman or something like that. Oh, thank you, Claire. Yeah, there's more coming. There's more coming. All the Epstein stuff will now be over on there. No more Epstein stuff on this channel. I've made the decision. Don't worry, though. I will be doing it, but on the other channel. What else have we got going on? So we've got Farage announcing that today. Oh, wow, 20? Oh, how kind. Oh, let's just see who gets memberships. How lovely is that from One Big Pond? Let's have a look. Oh, thank you, darling. Oh, Rex Sniffer, what happened to him? Oh, darling, how bloody kind is this? Thank you. We've got Deep Badani, Rick Dean, Angela, Sheila Miller, Helen was on here the other day, Savage Panda UK, Avalaf, lovely name, Diane Hun, The Wasted Artist, Rex Sniffer, we've got Tony Outdoors, MM In, Letitia, I can't read that, Boozer Lely, The Fancy Tramp, Spooky Bedhair, I've not seen them for a while, Salty Pepper, look, Layla Cunningham, I think she's lovely. Lauren Hill, Saki1333 and Marie Hopkinson. Well, how bloody kind. How bloody kind. So, One Big Pond has gifted 20 memberships. How lovely is that? Right, what else? Just quickly. 11 dead after US forces strike a drugs boat. Let's have a look at this. Just having a quick news roundup. What's this now? Oh, thank you so much, darling. Oh, so bloody kind. Thank you. So what's this now? US forces have... So I cover UK and abroad politics and news on here. In the Pacific and the Caribbean, 2 vessels carrying 4 people were each hit in the eastern Pacific Ocean, where the third boat with 3 people was struck. So the Americans have been and bombed a drug boat. We have video footage, I think. Do we have video footage? I think we might do. Hang on. Oh, thank you. That's so kind. Right, I can't get rid of this stupid ad. Okay, now this is why I do the BBC sometimes. I hate the BBC, but they don't have these stupid ads. Right, let's try and watch this video. How do I make it bigger? It won't let me. I can't even see it, look. Right, go on then. No audio. Where's the audio? There's no audio, guys. US military, 11 men killed in strikes on alleged... There we go. So they blew up these boats. The thing is, right, I don't know about you guys, but if it's alleged and they're not even sure, should they really be blowing up boats if they're not sure if it's definitely them? Look at this. They blew them up. What the hell? Hi, Lottie. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I don't know why I've got indigestion. I've not eaten anything. Strikes have been launched by US forces on 3 alleged drug smuggling boats. How you doing, Lottie, my love? The strikes are the latest in a series of controversial military operations that have brought the number of so-called narco-terrorists. I'm a bit suspicious of this, you know, to go blowing up boats like that. Trump said the US is in armed conflict with cartels in Latin America and has justified the attacks as a necessary escalation to stem the flow of drugs. Now, does anybody remember when I covered Operation Northwood? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Lottie, love. I need to message Avogadro as well. I was going to message her back the other day and I've been distracted. Hope she's all right. Hi, Brom. How you doing, my lovely? Sorry to hear that, sweetheart. Yeah, it's been a bit manic here, to be honest with you. It's all a bit manic, but I've been going an hour now, so there won't be much left. Do you guys remember on the Curious Bunny about 2 or 3 years ago, I covered Operation Northwood? That was a US secret military operation, and they were going to blow up some Cuban boats, and then they were going to blow up some American boats and blame the Cubans so they could start an invasion into Cuba. So when the Americans start blowing up boats and saying it's because of the drugs, I don't believe the random boats, Lee, but I don't know whether you've seen Operation Northwood Stream, but I've seen the classified documents. They were going to blow up their own boats and blame it on the Cubans, and they were going to blow some Cuban boats up and say that they did it in retaliation to the Cubans blowing up their boats. Do you remember Amethyst? So we all know that the Americans are very, very highly capable of doing this to themselves. And do you know, guys, that it was President Kennedy that stopped that from happening? President Kennedy, everybody signed this Operation Northwood off. All the generals, everybody around him. It got onto his desk and Kennedy said, no, I am not going to kill my own citizens to start a war with Cuba. And then a few days later, boom, Kennedy's dead. But it's all a conspiracy though, guys, remember? It's not real. USA talking about helping Cuba out earlier today. Don't know how. Fentanyl has killed 9 in Grimsby in a month. It's 50 times strong. How is it though? I thought pure heroin is the strongest, isn't it? And then Kennedy went pop. He sure did. Right, a couple more and then we're going to go because I've got to get ready. I've got stuff to do because I'm out tomorrow, as you know. I do want to go. Right, guys, I'm going to go on a deep rabbit hole on this Nancy Fray thing. Now, I haven't really covered it much. I haven't covered it at all because I don't like talking about stuff that I haven't deeply researched. If I'm not very knowledgeable on a subject, I don't talk about it. And I haven't done enough research into this to say what's going on. I know bits. That is my goal this week, to research this old lady who is now missing for, I think, 25 days. Now, she's made a plea, this news anchor. But before I go into the little bit of the latest on this story, I just want to say something. Virginia Fray did not kill herself, okay? I've been saying this all along. I knew they were going to do this. I said they were going to do this, and then they did it. She spoke out against this sick, you know, Randy Andy and Epstein. She also said that Trump didn't do anything, and she got killed, right? Now, this woman, this Savannah Fray, this journalist, is it a coincidence that her mum has been kidnapped? Is this a punishment for something she's done? So my goal this week, I get tomorrow out the way, is, has she reported on anything that has mentioned anyone that they don't want her to talk about? Because they usually go for the family members if you upset someone. So I do think that I need to go down the Savannah Fray rabbit hole. Anyway, she's made a plea, so we're going to watch this video now. So her mom, let's not forget, her mom vanished. I think it was 25 days ago. It's such a bizarre story. She's still missing. They said that the cameras had cut out and she might have just gone wandering off. The cameras were malfunctioning, but then they managed to find, they managed to get hold of the cameras, managed to get hold of the camera footage, and they seen someone tampering with them. It's like something out of a movie, this is. So they know that she was taken. Now, today they found a glove and they've tested it and it's not her DNA. But another bizarre twist in this story is that TMZ, the big newspaper magazine publication in the US that get everything first, they know everything about everything before anybody else, they've been getting notes asking for money. It's really bizarre. This story deserves a lot of attention, I believe. So I do think the rabbit hole needs to be opened over on the Curious Bunny. This poor woman, she's 84 years old. So this is her daughter, Savannah Fray. She's not related to Virginia Fray, which is what I thought at first, but they're spelled different. But yeah, she makes an appeal. I just want to see, because you can usually tell when people are fake, can't you? Let's see how she seems, if she comes across genuine.
I wanted to come on, and it's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that we still have hope, and we still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is, that it's never too late, and you're not lost or alone, and it is never too late to do the right thing, and we are here, and we believe. And we believe in the essential goodness of every human being. And it's never too late.
So I say I don't know enough to cover it in depth, all right? I know, obviously I know of it. I'm keeping up with bits on the news. I did want to touch upon it, obviously, because it's a news show. So this was updated today. So she's done a plea. I thought it was 25 days, but apparently it's not. It's 2 weeks. I think it was 15 days. My mistake. She's done lots of video appeals, apparently. Now, I haven't seen the brother and sister one. I'll have a quick look for that in a minute, Claire Bear. Her latest appeal video, the US TV anchor. Have we got any Americans here? So we've got One Big Pond. Is there any other Americans? Is she really big over there? Obviously, we haven't heard of her over here. What sort of journalist was she? Did she do much investigating? Did she mention the Epstein stuff? Currently, investigators are analysing DNA. I can confirm that the DNA found, I do know this, it wasn't her DNA. We've got an update on that tonight. They thought it might have been her glove, which appears to match one that the suspect was wore, but apparently there's nothing come up on that. It's on Samantha's Instagram. Okay, I'll have a look in a minute. Authorities believe the suspect in the video kidnapped Fray in the early hours. The thing is, that video of him on the camera was very the way he had his gun just like in his pocket, and it come across as quite clumsy, as not very organised. You'd think something like this would be a lot more, I don't know. And he was in the house for 20 minutes as well. They collected 16 gloves from various locations near her home, though most turned out to have been discarded by people searching for her. Why do people throw gloves on the floor? Come on, people. The one with the DNA profile recovered is different and appears to match the gloves of the subject in the surveillance video. The agency said it had received preliminary DNA results on the glove, and I was told tonight that he's not anything to do with this, but I don't know. 22, yeah, 22. Right, so there's Savannah with her mum. I don't know much about, as I said, I only know little bits of this case. I really want to go down the rabbit hole and do more deep dive on different channel. So they've released footage of the doorbell, which is of the man. It's really bizarre. So like they didn't realise there was anybody tampering. I remember when this first broke and they said, oh, we think she might have just gone missing and just gone for a wander. And then they were like, oh, the cameras aren't working, just like in Epstein, all the cameras have malfunctioned. And then they managed to get hold of this footage. I'm just going to show this footage if you haven't seen it. It's utterly bonkers.
Well, it is a potential breakthrough for investigators in this case. Those pictures have been released by the FBI and they show...
I'm going to have to mute it because the BBC, I don't like that they will strike for just hearing their voice. It's ridiculous. What's he doing? Is he looking for keys? Is he putting a plant over it? How bizarre. Right, we can't listen to it because the BBC will just have a meltdown if we actually mention it. So it's a really, really weird story, and this lady's still missing. Some are saying that it's a home invasion gone wrong. Others are saying that there's more to it and she was stolen as a way to get money. I don't know. It's a really intriguing one, and I don't know if anybody has the answers. I just don't know. So as of now, she's not returned, and nobody knows who that bloke is, where she's been taken. There has been a few arrests, but I do find these notes to TMZ extremely interesting. And I do think it's something we should go further down the rabbit hole. Yeah, TMZ have had 4 notes. I've had another one today asking for money and saying that they've got, they know, what was it they said? Here, let me just show you the video. I'm just going to put this video on. Hold on. The person who's contacting them seems to know on this last one where she's been taken. I genuinely believe that if she was speaking out against these, if she's mentioned these files and so on, then someone's took the mom as a warning. I don't know. Let me see if I can find this video. Hold on a sec. Oh, I bet I can't find it now. Here we go.
Monday morning, we have received a 4th letter from the same person who says that he knows where Nancy is, and he wants money in return for the information.
Oh,
essentially, he wants the reward. So, and I've already talked to the FBI about this, that if you are not real, you're committing a crime, and you should know that. And this is a serious federal crime. If you are real, this is the 4th letter you've sent, and I should tell everybody that in this letter, it says, I know what I saw 5 days ago south of the border, and I was told to shut up, so I know who he is And that was definitely Nancy with them. This is the second time he has referred to more than one person involved in this. He said there was a main person and there are others. And he said
So I'm going to leave it there because obviously there's a lot. It's something that we need to go further down a rabbit hole. Yeah, there is. I think there's 100,000 out now. So I can't cover today's news without the election U-turn. Now, as many of you are aware, the elections in the local elections, over 4 million people were not allowed to vote. Now, they weren't allowed to vote last year. They said, oh well, it's gonna we're reorganising stuff and it's going to cost us too much money, because basically the way that the local councils work in this country is utterly bonkers. Really, you've got like different authorities. You've got unitary authorities, you've got local parish councils, and the way they want to do it is they want to put it all into like one council, and I understand that, but they don't need to not do elections. So last year was abandoned, and then they're trying to do it again to stop elections this year. 3/4 of the councils that want to stop elections this year, this is local UK news now for those of you that don't know, are Labour councils. I think there might be a Lib Dems in there, and I know there's a couple of Conservatives as well. 30 councils. Now, the government know, they're running scared. They know that Labour will lose. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if it's going to cost extra money, because the councils are being rejigged. So the boundaries are going to change. And when this happens in a year's time, they're going to have to do another vote. So their excuse is it's going to be too much hassle and too expensive to do a vote now and then have to do another one soon in the future. What I say is I don't give a shit how expensive it is and how awkward it is. Democracy is democracy. If that was the case, don't do any votes ever, because it's expensive. It's an expensive game. Elections are expensive. And if we can afford to give billions to the boat people, to put them in 4-star hotels and give them 3 meals a day and spending money, then we can afford to have democracy in this country. Anyway, Nigel Farage, like him or loathe him, took the government to court, and the judge has basically said today to Farage that he'll win, and the government's own lawyers have said if this goes to judgment on Thursday, you will lose. So we advise you just to give in now and abandon plans to cancel these elections, and that's what's happened. So the government has now said, after saying they were going to stop all these elections, not all elections but a lot of them, 30 councils and over 4.6 million people were going to be taken away the right to vote again this year. They've now, in the middle of February, done a U-turn. They've been forced to, because of Farage. That's just a fact. If you don't like him, then that's just a fact. He's forced this through. The government have had to do a U-turn, and that has left these local councils running around trying to then find the money to have to put these elections back on. And you imagine all these people have not been canvassing or anything. Not been canvassing because they thought the elections weren't going to happen. The government have now pledged to give them 63 million to help the councils get it done. But yeah, it's another U-turn. I think, is it the 16th U-turn of Starmer? So they've approved delay. Local government secretary Steve Reed, another one, vile, approved delays for the ballots until 2027. But remember, they've been delaying elections on and off now since the old plague days. You remember when Sadiq Khan as well, they delayed his election. And I don't believe he got in either. I think it was all fixed like Biden. I don't believe that Sadiq Khan is very popular at all. But anyway, some councils were worried about the cost. Well, I'm sorry, but elections are expensive. Reform UK launched a legal challenge against the plans to delay May's elections, which was due to be heard on Thursday, like I just said. But they've backtracked already. The move was welcomed by opposition parties who had branded the delays undemocratic. Even Ed Davey has come out today and said, that he supports reform on this and that Labour are scared of reform. So asked by the BBC if Reid should resign, Farage said, if a government minister does something illegal, they really ought to resign. But these Labour Party, this Labour government are like Teflon, and they literally can do or say anything. U-turn after U-turn, taking money from this gay Lord Ali, giving him keys to Downing Street to wander around because he bought some suits. Clearly him and Starmer have got something going on. The rent boy situation, the farmers, the winter fuel. How much has happened in the last 18 months with this government? There's more trashy, dodgy, illegal, underhand goings on in this last 18 months that I have seen in my 45 years on this earth. I have never seen so much. Boris Johnson was taken down by cake. Let's not forget this. Just saying. I'm not a Boris fan. So the government has agreed to pay reform's legal costs, which a party source said would be at least 100 grand. In a letter to council leaders, Reid said the government had written to the High Court to confirm he had decided to withdraw. Yeah, they've had to, because they would have lost the court case. Right, one tick, hold on. Sorry about that, I'm back now. So it's all going ahead. The government's going to give an extra 63 million, like I said earlier. And if you couldn't have voted, you can now. Now, my advice would be, if you couldn't vote but you can now, I would vote against Labour. That's just what I would say. You guys vote who you want. But my advice is, even if you like Labour, everyone should vote against them for what they have done in this country. That's what I would say. The proposed reforms for local government would replace the two-tier system of district and county councils. Usually, when they want to reform and rejig councils, though, I must say it's usually because they want to save money and or cause more dictatorship. I like our little parish council. It's good having a little parish council, not just one big council. But let's see anyway. Right. Just because you're educated doesn't mean you have very, very, very true. I never went to a university. Trying to be a dictatorship, but people not having it. Honestly, it's just bonkers. Blair knew how to use power. Yeah, thing is, Blair was evil, but he wasn't stupid. This is what I'm saying. Like, your government, your last Labour government, even though I didn't like them and I didn't agree with them, they weren't stupid. This lot are stupid. And I was talking to Al the other day about this guy that was on GB News recently. And he actually said that out of all the prime ministers that there's ever been, that the one that never visits them in the civil service is Keir Starmer. He's never visited them. He's never contacted them on email. He has no input whatsoever in anything in Downing Street or the civil service. He's just like a figure of nothingness. He doesn't do anything. It's total and utterly bonkers. Anyway, I've got to go, but we're going to do one last story. And that is a bomb squad has been called in. This is breaking news this evening. Homes have been evacuated as bomb squad called to quiet residential street to probe mystery item. A man in his 20s arrested. Why do I suspect this could be another Ukrainian rent boy? This is in Devon and Cornwall. Now, we know that Starmer had houses all over the shop. Wouldn't it be interesting? I wonder who's got a house in Devon and Cornwall. So it wasn't a false alarm because they've arrested somebody. So homes in the residential street have been evacuated after bomb squad officers were alerted to an item needing to be made safe. Devon and Cornwall police have confirmed a man has been arrested on suspicion of possessing a firearm without a certificate in Devon and Cornwall. Interesting, eh? Just a little quiet little residential street. 100-metre cordon has been set up around College Avenue in Mutley. Police told Plymouth Live that properties within a 100-metre cordon have been asked to leave as a precaution while the item is assessed. I don't know what's going on, but the bomb disposal team are there. And anybody else getting a little bit suspicious that there's more to this? So we'll watch this space. But when I seen it, that was my first thought was, what have the Ukrainian rent boys been up to now? Because why won't they mention anything else? Why is it just a mystery man? Now, you know the Ukrainian rent boy situation. Did he have homes in different places? Right, let me just do a little bit of live research whilst we are live. Hold on a sec. Let me have a quick look. I don't suppose Keir Starmer's got any properties in... let me just ask Gemini. Let me ask old Gemini. Hold on. Hi, Gemini. Could you tell me, has Keir Starmer got any properties in Devon or Cornwall, please? Thank you very much.
Based on public records and his parliamentary register of interests, there is no evidence that Keir Starmer owns any property in Devon or Cornwall. His known property portfolio consists of North London, a family home in Kentish Town, which he...
Has Keir Starmer ever owned a property in London or Cornwall? Or does he have any links to any properties in, sorry, not London, in Devon or Cornwall?
Based on available public records and parliamentary registers, Keir Starmer does not own any property in Devon or Cornwall,
I just said that.
Nor does he have any known personal links to properties in those counties, such as a private holiday home or family estate. Here is a breakdown of the specific links he does have to the region, which may be what you have heard about. 1. No personal ownership. Homes. His private home is in North London. Land. The only land he famously owned, a field for his late parents' donkeys, was in Surrey, not the West Country. Holidays.
Remember that.
He has previously stated that his family tends to holiday in Wales, specifically the Gower Peninsula, rather than Devon or Cornwall. 2. Official links and recent visits. You may have seen him connected to the region in the news recently due to his work as Prime Minister. Duchy of Cornwall visits. In February 2025, he made a high-profile visit to Newquay, Cornwall, alongside King Charles III. They toured the Nansleddon housing development, owned by the Duchy of Cornwall. This was an official government visit.
So he made an official government visit last year, a year ago. It might be nothing, but I remember when that happened with those little fires going off. I was very suspicious. Oh, they're saying it's Plymouth. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Hi, Gemini. Just one more question, please. Does Keir Starmer have any links to properties in Plymouth, either owning, renting, or previously owning? Thank you very much.
Based on the available public records and parliamentary registers, asterisk Keir Starmer does not have any personal property links to Plymouth. He does not own, rent, or have a history of owning property in the city. Here is a more detailed breakdown to clarify why you might have heard about him in relation to Plymouth. No ownership or rental history. His known property portfolio is strictly limited to his family home in North London and a field in Surrey. He has never lived in Plymouth. His legal career was based in London, and he studied...
It says here, I've just paused him a minute. It says here he visits Plymouth frequently in his capacity as Prime Minister. For example, he has made high-profile visits to Devonport and has campaigned alongside local MPs like Luke Pollard and Fred Thomas. He often speaks about housing issues in Plymouth. He has visited the city to announce policies. So, in short, whilst he is a frequent visitor for work, he has no personal foothold in the city. You know those houses that the Ukrainian... Good night, Amethyst, my love. Good night. God bless, sweetheart. You know those houses that the Ukrainian rent boys blew up, though? You do know that he hadn't lived in them since the 90s in one of them. He had no current links to them. How many Albanians are in Plymouth? Right, hang on. Hi, Gemini. One last one, sorry. Can you tell me how many Albanians live in Plymouth in England, please? You're still thinking.
According to the official 2021 census data, the number of Albanians living in Plymouth is small, likely between 100 and 200 people. Because the community is relatively small compared to other groups like Polish or Romanian residents, they're often grouped into broader categories in standard reports. Here is the breakdown based on the available statistics. Census
Right, that was from 2021 though, so, you know. Nobody knows Tamsin, but my suspicions are, because one of them he sold in the 90s, but I think he rented it out or something. He had links to it still. I can't remember. I know that he had links to all of those three properties, because I remember it very, very well. Anyway, this could be absolutely nothing to do with it, but when we hear about a mystery man and we hear about bombs and probes and very hush-hush, we have to be suspicious, because there are many out to get him. Oh, it's Eid today, apparently, and the royal family, well done, royal family. They've wished the Muslims a happy Eid Murbank. Maybe Tony was... maybe he'd had a little tipple when he was a bit too carried away celebrating Eid Murbank. It's also the start of the Chinese New Year, I think. Or they call it the Lunar New Year now, because you can't say Chinese New Year because it might be offensive. It's bonkers, isn't it? A year of the horse this year, apparently. Hang on, let me just get this up for you. No, that's not right. Hang on. Honestly, I cannot stand this royal family. Right, look at this, folks, before we go. I've not had pancakes today. I love me pancakes as well. But I have to get gluten-free for Littlin. Right, so this is 3 hours ago on X. Our wonderful royal family, who was supposed to be King Charles, the defender of the faith, of the Christian faith, remember, Church of England, something that the Queen failed to do. She broke her oath. She said she was going to be defender of the Christian faith, the Protestant Church of England faith. She allowed mosques to be built all over this country. She allowed the takeover of this country to become, well, we're still classed as a Christian country, but just about. And now he's carried it on with this nonsense, wishing all Muslims in the UK, the Commonwealth and around the world a blessed and peaceful Ramadan. Now, I'm pretty sure there should be a comma there. Wishing all Muslims in the UK, the Commonwealth and around the world, there should be a comma there, a blessed and peaceful Ramadan. So this is what they're doing on Twitter. I wonder what people are saying in the comments. Not my king. Straight away, look. Excuse me. No one likes him. Look at him. Does anybody like him? This is a Christian country and not a Muslim country. You are the head of the Church of England. Today is Shrove Tuesday. Do your duty you are paid handsomely to do for Christians. I am fast losing my love and respect for the family I've loved and admired all my life. Well said, my lovely. Yeah, where is he talking about Shrove Tuesday? It's the start of Lent today. Funny, I wanted to click not interested from the firm, but that choice was not available. Look at this. Hello, we are a Christian country, you knob jockeys. Put here, we're not a Christian country though. We are, because whilst we have a monarch, we are a Christian country. The monarch is the head of the Church of England. So whether the people like it or not, we have a monarch. We are therefore a Christian country. If he stops becoming the Church of England, look at this. They hate you. So there you go. They're not very popular over on X. The old royals. And we've got one more silly one for you before we go. Hello, Fray. Do you know what? I do like X. I do go on X and get, find stuff out, because at least they give you some news. The last one is a really bizarre, interesting one. Hang on, what's this? Sorry, I'm just seeing what this is. Ow, me back. Right, last one before we go. This article is called Bum Scare. And Fro-Dizzle's here. Let me just go to your channel. I've just subbed to you, so you've got 14 subs now instead of 13, which is unlucky. And because you've been here regularly, I'm giving you a wrench or a shield, which is just bizarre. Yeah, so Bum Scare. A man, 24, has been rushed to hospital with a World War bomb stuck in his bottom. No, this is not April Fool's. How bizarre. Penny shorts, a Rolex. Huh? So, it's not in the UK, guys. I don't know where it is. Is it? Bomb disposal units rushed to the scene. He turned up at the hospital. There was a mass hospital evacuation. And it was French. Frenchman's anus. He found a century-old artillery shell lodged inside the 24-year-old Frenchman's bot. Oh, Toulouse. I don't know if that was the exact one. I'm presuming not. Yeah, that's just a stock photo. Unexploded. During surgery, medics discovered an 8-inch long. This is real, guys. This is real. I like, hi Scotland. I do like to do. I've had constipation. An April Fool's stream where I give you some real stories and some bonkers ones, and you've got to find out which is real and which one isn't. But this is not. This is not April Fool, okay? During surgery, medics discovered an 8-inch long bombshell dating back to 1918 shoved up his bottom. Maybe he was a time traveller and he'd sat on it. Local police and firemen, I'm not going to do this woke nonsense with this 5-person and all this shit. They've tried to go to fireman Sam because it's a man, it's bollocks. Swarmed the hospital in Toulouse, France, shortly after terrified doctors sounded the alarm on Saturday. So you imagine, this is last Saturday, you imagine he's got something stuck up his bum. They don't know what it is. They look on the x-ray and they think, right, okay, he's been up to no good again with his boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And there's something stuck up there. And they start to operate, open up his bum hole, and there's the World War I shell up there. They managed to defuse the device and there was no risk of immediate danger. The question is, though, did they defuse it whilst in his bottom or did they pull it out first? What, guys, can I just say, right, please do not stick things up your bottom like that, okay? Why anybody would do that, I don't know. Look, guys, it is an exit, not an entrance, all right? That's just my understanding of biology. I don't get it. I never have, never will. The unidentified man is still recovering from surgery and could now be charged over the explosive ordeal. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. So, hang on, he may be accused of violating France's weapon legislation. You've got to wonder, where's he got it from? No night, Claire, love. He was in a state of extreme discomfort, having inserted a large object up his rectum. This, I'm quoting now. Emergency surgery was carried out and the object was found to be an artillery shell dating back to the First World War. Worse still, it had not exploded, and so bomb disposal experts had to be called to defuse the shell, with the fire brigade standing by. Does that mean that they defused it whilst it was up his bum then? Because I'm guessing they couldn't get it out whilst it was up his bum. Where did he find it? You don't reckon, right, that this is like a gang thing, and the new way of getting your grasses in the gang situation. I Medusa. And just a theory. Is this a new gang thing where, instead of like breaking fingers and stuff and beating people up, you put things up their bottom? I don't know. So, there's still some more here. Staff and patients had to be evacuated following the shock discovery. A security perimeter was thrown up. Emergency units working on the scene. The pointed 1918 shell, which was almost 8 inches. Hang on a minute. 8 inches is what? It's about 20 centimetres, isn't it? I don't know, guys. Help me out here. The patient is expected to be interviewed by police next week. It was declared safe. It was just over 1 inch in circumference, and we've all got our fingers out now measuring it, I think. The prosecutors are mulling legal action against him for handling category. What if it wasn't him that put it up his bum, though? What if it was like someone did it as like a warning or something? It is currently unclear why the shell was found inside the man. They're accustomed to treating victims injured during sexual games. The 37mm brass and copper shell was used by the Imperial German Army towards the end of the First World War. So there you go. And a bit of a bum day, that one, isn't he? Fucking hell. The world's gone to shit. Maybe he slips and fell. Maybe he did fall asleep at the museum. A centimetre is like, no, yeah. I think someone's done that as a punishment, because there's no way how you would, unclear, how on earth would you get hold of one and you wouldn't? What a bizarre thing. I'd love to know where that came from. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and thank you to One Big Pond. I hope you've enjoyed your news show. News shows will be once a week, probably on a Monday. But obviously yesterday I'd been live the night before as well, and it was too late, so I decided to do it today. Tomorrow, no, thank you, One Big Pond. I think I'm so grateful. You're so kind. Thank you. DJ knows too much about dildos. Yes. Yes, we'll leave that there then, shall we? So, guys, if you are a member on Penny, the Curious Bunny, I'm going to pop a little thing up asking if anybody wants any questions, asking. Like I say, I will try. Has anyone got any more questions? Like anything like, I think the Satan one is a good one. Oh, well, thank you, Fro. Thank you, Diane, for being here, my lovely. And thank you again to One Big Pond. And thank you to our lovely members. Yes, that was an interesting news section. Look, I always try and bring a fun story. Not fun for the dude, obviously, and all the people around him working on his bottom. But I do try and bring something a bit silly at the end so we're not all depressed, because the rest of the news is just depressing, and basically we'll all go insane. It's been a lot longer than I expected, but there's nothing new there. Okay, right, you guys take care. And guys, don't forget David Icke tomorrow. I'm going to be on the Curious Bunny tomorrow. Keep a lookout for any updates. I am going to try and do a little sneaky video. We will see. I don't know how close I'm going to be to the front. I don't know where I'm going to be sitting or anything. I just know I'm going with 3 other people, and There's going to be 4 of us, and I'm going to try and get his books. I'm going to try and get a signed book, and I'm going to try and ask him my question about Satanism, and yeah, we'll take it from there. There you go. Right. Good night. God bless. And I will see you all very soon. Yes, Penny's easily pleased. I am very, very easily pleased. Good night, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.